Guys, I want to do a quick news update on the latest findings from inside patch 3.24.2. First off, big major news about the Polaris. I'm gonna be using it as a thumbnail, so let's get straight to the point. This thing has PDS turrets now. My video on the Idris actually showed what they look like, and I also gave a short explanation on how they work. Basically, those are fully automatic defense turrets which fire upon any missile, torpedo or hostile vehicle that gets into their range of operation. Or, in other words, this is now a proper capital vessel that can and will defend itself against missiles while you're solo piloting the heck out of it and do some proper cargo hauling in style. But I digress. Now let's check the differences between the PDS system on the Idris and those on the Polaris. Frankly, the PDS on the Polaris is made up of 7 size 1 Bulldog turrets, and the Idris has 10 size 2 Badgers, which is definitively better as a defense than what we're getting on the Polaris here. But that's not really the main thing here, guys. The main thing is that we are getting a PDS system at all, and something is better than nothing, in my opinion at least. Now the Polaris will have 3 of its PDSs on the top, and 4 of them remaining will be on the bottom. A straight comparison between the Bulldog size 1 repeaters versus their Badger size 2 counterparts is easy to do. Both have the same projectile speed at 1800 meters per second, but the size 2 Badgers have 306 meters more range and about 50% higher damage output. Furthermore, the top 2 manned turrets of the Polaris are indeed getting upgunned in the form of 2 additional size 4 guns per turret. The ship now has 4 Hammerhead style quad size 4 turrets, and that's some serious DPS right there, and the way they're positioned means one thing and one thing only. We've got full frontal face firepower with no funny angles and restrictions which the Hammerhead is suffering from. Or to put it differently, a single Hammerhead will have a rough time against the Polaris, because the DPS is roughly similar thanks to our good turret angles for frontal assault. And let me tell you about the next piece of the upgunning puzzle, the frontal turret. Remember how it used to have 2 size 5s before? Well, now it's dual size 6s, exactly as I predicted, with bespoke ballistic cannons. Now the bespoke part is a bit disappointing, because those things cannot be swapped out with different size 6s, but this is not really the point here. The point is that this is now a capital ship with proper capital weapons. Let me talk to you about the stats here. The range is listed at 2800 meters, so it's not really a long range solution, and the projectile speed is a bit low at 900 meters per second, but that's where the bad news actually stop. The damage. Guys, the damage is absolutely there. We're gonna be firing 60 rounds per minute, which is 1 shot per second, and it will be dealing 1700 damage per shot. That makes 3400 damage per second, guys. The guns will have 300 rounds each, so the total damage output for 5 minutes of continuous fire is exactly 1,024,800 damage. That's some heavy stuff there, guys. You can bet that whoever is in the front of our nose is gonna get peppered with the highest damage that they've ever seen, unless of course that's an Idris we're talking about. The Idris is probably gonna be our worst enemy, and we have to be relying on our torpedoes for this one. And speaking of torpedoes, I don't yet have the data on that, but I'll probably make a video once I have all the data. Now let's look at something even more interesting. Yeah, I said it, we're going to be looking at even cooler things than just the Polaris right now, so let's go, guys. This here is the complete list of all the size 4 capital shields that are found in the patch database, and what do we see here? Not 1, not 2, but 3 Vanduul capital ships, starting from the smallest, which is the Void, then onto the Hunter, which is the Destroyer class, and finally the biggest ship in the game, the Vanduul Kingship. The shield on that one has 5 zeros, nearly 28 million shield capacity, boys, and the regen is at 860,000 per second. Wow. Now the Hunter seems to be identical to the Javelin in terms of shields, and the Bengal Carrier has almost 9 million shield capacity per shield, but we don't know if it has more than 1 right now. Moving on to some other news, all shield classes from 0 to 4 are getting a complete balance pass, which may not be final, but the numbers are all different now. Moving on to ship news, the Mirai Guardian, also known as the Big Fury, has at least two variants, the base one and a Chi modification. Chi standing for Quantum Interdictor maybe, which supposedly has a size 3 quantum dampener, and this is where you hear the lyrics from the Hotel California song saying you may check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. We don't know much else about the operation of that size 3 blocking device, but I'll keep you updated as soon as I know more. Next up is the Crusader Hercules A2 bomber, which now has 60 size 3 carpet bombs available for purchase in-game, so people can opt to purchase those racks and drop a carpet of explosives, which is impossible to defend from. Unlike the size 10 bombs, which can be disabled while in mid-air, the smaller bombs will be too many for anyone to successfully handle while they're raining down on you, so there are gonna be some interesting times at the next Jumptown event. And we are almost ready with the news report, with the final piece being the low light scopes. They have their own keybind to turn them on and off right now, and all of them work. You can find anything between 1x all the way until 8x, which is a size 3. They are already available in the current live patch, but I haven't seen a 16x up until now, so I don't know if they even exist. There is a high likelihood that they do exist, so let me know in the comments if you have seen one. And this is all the news wrapped up for today, guys. Don't forget to subscribe because I'm just getting started with more upcoming content. Believe me. See you in the comment section, guys. Peace.